Kia ora, it's Sharon Holt here again. Perhaps some of you are wondering why I focus so much on pronunciation of things like our place names and our greetings and today our native trees. It's because I really believe in us making the best pronunciation efforts that we can for Te Reo Māori. Each of us are on a journey towards that, I realise that, and I am as well, but I really want to emphasise using these words that are part of our vocabulary even, that it's really important that we pronounce them respectfully for the Māori language, the Māori people and the land, because they're meant to be pronounced a certain way. They're Māori words and they should be pronounced that way. The examples that I'm using today are for some of our trees, and most of which are in common pronunciation, mostly incorrectly. Some parts of them are street names, place names. Parts of these are in schools and centre names, often pronounced incorrectly. And sometimes in classrooms there'll be groups of children who are named after perhaps, some of our native flora and fauna or our birds, which I'll do on a different day. And in centres there'll sometimes be rooms that are named after different plants, birds, trees, and sometimes those are pronounced incorrectly. So I don't see much point in us moving forward with phrases and sentence structures if we're not pronouncing correctly the basic words that we already have in our vocabulary. So that's why I'm going over these today. So the word for tree in te reo is rākau, and rākau is also commonly used for the word for stick, and it covers the sticks that we use in Māori stick games, cuisinier rods and ice block sticks. So we're pronouncing this like rākau, rākau, and the macron's over this A, so that's where we know the emphasis is. Rākau, rākau. The rākau are our trees. One of the first ones that I really love the sound of, I love the sound of tōtara, tōtara. So you could say that after me and see if what you're saying sounds like what I'm saying. Tōtara, 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 not tōtara. Tōtara. Here's one that really gets to me sometimes. Ko whai. Whai, ai, ko whai. And people say ko whai or ko ai. And there's a company that has a song which uses the word ko whai. And this is not ko whai. This sound in te reo is always or or. In this case, or. Ko whai. And the emphasis is on the or. Rimu doesn't have any macrons. So rimu are both short sounding vowels. A, e, I or u. Rimu. And the a, as it is in tōtara, is a little bit rolled, not r. It's r, r, r. Rimu, rimu. When you're practicing, you just need to start with practicing them slowly, and when you see these words or give yourself a practice list, just repeat them over and over. Ka, hi, ka, te, a. 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 Not ka, hi, ka, te, a. Ka, hi, ka, te, a. This is the sound e. Ka, hi, ka, so this is probably well pronounced. Ka, hi, ka, te, a. Now this is probably one of the most poorly pronounced, and then on television the other day people called this school Cowrie-Land's school, but this word is always kauri, 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 kauri. Our mighty kauri trees deserve our respect, I'm sure you'll agree. So if you have a group or a class, a room or a part of a centre or whatever, that's called the kauri room or the kauri group, please try not to call them kauri. Ngaio, 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 ngaio. That's beautiful, isn't it? Nga. Manuka. So the emphasis is on the word, on the syllable with a macron. Manuka, not manuka. If it was manuka, this would have a macron, but it doesn't. Manuka. Manuka honey, the manuka tree. And exactly the same with kanuka. Kanuka. Manuka, kanuka. That's why it's really important to find out which words have macrons within them, because our signposts and perhaps our manuka honey pots don't have the macrons necessarily. I find out by looking online, and I have other dictionaries that tell me where the macrons are. Rata, rata, rata. Both of these A's have macrons, so they're both long. Rata. And miro, miro, miro. I know some people would say miro for this, unfortunately. Miro, miro. So there's some practice. Hopefully that will really help you. I love hearing your comments. If you've got any comments about this, particularly if something really rings a bell with you or resonates with you in your heart, I would love to hear from you. I will do the birds next time, I hope. And ka kite, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate your support.